This is a Swede Speaks.
As you may have heard, there have been a lot of forest fires in Sweden, and Sweden has been receiving help from Poland. Then there was a Swedish 21-year-old girl who tried to stop the deportation of an Afghan citizen. I'm going to talk about these stories today, but before I do that, let me just say this. This is my day job. I am very grateful to my financial supporters. Thank you very much for your support, because the support is necessary and appreciated. And if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important, and if you want me to continue doing this, please consider sending me $1 or $2 or 10 or 100 or becoming a monthly supporter through Patreon. That's all greatly appreciated. For information about how to donate, take a look at the box below this video. Now, let's get started. As I said, there have been a lot of forest fires in Sweden lately. Sweden also lacks the necessary equipment to fight these fires. Since the previous government, under supposedly right-wing Prime Minister Fredrik Reinfeldt, sold Sweden's waterbombing helicopters. Supposedly, these helicopters were not used during 10 out of 12 months of a regular year. However, since 2014, the Social Democrat Stefan Löfven is Prime Minister of Sweden. His government consists of the Social Democrats and the Green Party. And his government stopped the Swedish forest fire inquiry that the previous government had initiated. So I'm not a fan of Fredrik Reinfeldt and his so-called non-socialist alliance government, and I do not think that selling these waterbombing helicopters was a good thing to do. However, stopping the forest fire inquiry was not very wise either. So, in my view, both the so-called right-wing government of Fredrik Reinfeldt and the left-wing government of Stefan Löfven messed up here. So Sweden is burning. Who is behind these fires? The forces of nature? Careless people lighting their grills in the woods? Sparks coming from train rails? Arsonists? I don't know. But I know that during these last few weeks, we also had fires in Greece. Fires that seemed to be started by arsonists. Could it have happened in Sweden too? Last week, I reported about fires in Arboga, a small town in the province of Västmanland in Sweden, where the police suspected arson in several cases. So my guess is that it could be a combination of all these things. And we already know that Sweden can't fight the fires by itself, because Sweden sold their equipment to do so. So, who comes to the rescue? Other countries have been sending waterbombing helicopters and planes to Sweden. Countries like Italy, Lithuania, France and Norway. And Poland, they sent firefighters. Poland, isn't that interesting? Swedish politicians have been bad-mouthing Poland for years now, demanding that Poland accepts more refugees, which basically is a code word for Islamic migrants. Polish politicians have not been interested in opening their country up to Islamization the way Sweden has opened up to Islamization. I'm with Poland on this one, and I might not be the only Swede who roots for Poland here. Anyway, back in May this year, the Swedish comic book Fantomen, which is the Swedish translation of the American comic The Phantom, had a story about the Phantom fighting Polish nationalists by hitting them with a rainbow flag. And if you didn't already know, Phantom comics are produced in Sweden under license, so this was a Swedish Phantom story. Apparently, they wanted the Phantom to virtue signal against Poland. But anyway, now this help from Poland. What happened on the Swedish countryside when Polish firefighters were driving through Sweden in their fire trucks? Swedes went out on the streets to greet them. 44 fire trucks from Poland with 139 firefighters, welcomed by grateful Swedes. As someone said, the reaction to these Polish firefighters reminds about how occupied people greet their liberators. It has been reported that people in Sweden cry when the firefighters arrive to help out. Isn't that amazing? Dominik Tarczynski, a politician from the Polish Law and Justice Party, told the Swedish alternative media site Nyheter Idag that, quote, "We are helping the Swedish people, not your government," close quote. And the Swedish people are grateful, as far as I can tell, at least the people being close to the fires. And in Sweden, some people have said that Swedes should thank the European Union for the help. Well, that's false. Tarczynski said to Nyheter Idag that, quote, "This is not about the European Union. This is not about structures, different agreements, or different documents. It's about humanity. If someone needs help, we are ready to help," close quote. To put it like this, the EU functions as a very expensive switchboard, that's all. Poland would have helped the Swedes anyway, so in my opinion, the Polish firefighters are doing a good thing here. Now, I would like to compare this to another recent story. The story about Elin Ersson, 21 years old, who recently set out to stop the deportation of an Afghan citizen from Sweden. The Afghan citizen had already agreed to go home to Afghanistan, and he was going to fly out of Landvetter airport by Gothenburg on a plane headed for Turkey. However, Elin Ersson also bought a ticket for that plane and boarded the plane. Then she started live streaming from the plane, and she refused to sit down and turn off her phone when instructed to do so by the airplane personnel. This resulted in the 52-year-old Afghan male getting to leave the plane. This man, by the way, has a criminal record in Sweden. However, reportedly he has been deported to Afghanistan now. So what did Elin Ersson achieve? The only thing she did was to create a more stressful situation for the airplane personnel, and for the other people on the plane, of course. And stopping a plane like that is really stupid. All sort of things could happen. As a retired pilot wrote in a Facebook thread, to not get a plane in the air when it's supposed to take off means that they have to replan when the plane can leave, and this influences all the other planes taking off and landing too. But does a 21-year-old leftist think about this at all? My guess is that she didn't think about it at all. And also, not obeying instructions by airplane personnel is a crime in Sweden. She should be prosecuted, in my opinion. For her own good, she should hope that she is prosecuted in Sweden and not in Turkey. The plane happened to belong to Turkish Airlines, and I'm guessing that Turkish courts are not as lenient as Swedish ones are. So in my opinion, Elin Ersson didn't do a good thing, she did a bad thing. The Polish firefighters did better than she did. Also, earlier today, Aino Pennanen, legal officer for the Finnish Green Party, tried to pull the same stunt as Elin Ersson did. She live-streamed when she tried to stop a plane headed from Helsinki to Berlin, because there were some people on the plane who were going to be deported from Finland. Well, the Finns apparently knows how to deal with these situations. Pennanen was escorted from the plane by the police. So 3 cheers for the Finnish police. And that's what I have to say about this, right now. As I said in the beginning of this video, this is my day job, and I would like to thank all my supporters. And if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important, and if you think it deserves some support, feel free to send me $1 or $2, or 10, or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. Also, subscribe, like and comment, and keep us here at Swede Studios in your prayers. And check out my live stream on Saturday at 2 PM Seattle time, 3 PM Houston time, 4 PM Toronto time, 10 PM Edinburgh time, 11 PM Stockholm time, midnight Helsinki time, and Sunday morning 1 AM Moscow time. I hope to see you all there. So, until next time, have a nice day and God bless.